Let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, the Reckless Amoeba podcast. I am Brandon Horvath, and with me are my co-hosts, Brandon Falinger.
I'm here, people, and I'm tired.
And Ryan Stokiel.
Ahoy, hoy.
So, how you guys
Ahoy,
doing?
ahoy, ahoy.
Doing good, doing good.
This is gonna be good.
Yes, this will be a fun one, because for once, Ryan has seen this anime.
Yes.
We may or may not have
Watch
forced
this.
him to watch it with
Yes.
with toothpicks to force his eyelids to stay open and just train him to a chair with TV constantly playing the
Clockwork
series.
Orange.
Look, I'm not saying that you might still be locked in Mr. Amoeba's basement right now. With a lovely little headset on your head, hands tied behind your back, stuck to a chair. But it might be happening. That might be how this is going down. And nobody can prove otherwise.
Oh, man. So, anything to discuss?
I'm trying to think. Oh, yes, I have something. You know how much I love the Fate series, right?
Yes. All the
So-
characters and your $200 thing that you don't like.
Fuck off. All right, fuck off. That happened once, and it's never happening again. There's a new series. Actually, the new episode just got added. There's a new series that came out since Apocrypha ended. We have Fate Extra Last Encore, so I am down to watch this. I've watched the first episode already. It's not Arturia this time. I'm blown away. It's Nero. We have Nero now.
So, basically, Red Saber.
Basically, yes. At least until we start getting more into character development with her, and we understand where she's from.
So,
And what-
you probably still think she's hot.
I mean, I like Nero from what I know about her from Fate, Grand Order. Like, she's a much more charismatic character.
Okay, so she's a more bubbly Saber?
A little bit. She's also very narcissistic,
Oh.
as comes with being Emperor of Rome.
Okay. Is she as serious? Because
In battle, probably yes.
Because Saber
Less so
rarely
just in
smile.
regular contact.
Saber rarely smile, so...
Yeah, Saber was also set up to be a king, She literally had the background of, I need to hide who I actually am and be the king that the people need.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, her entire thing was sacrifice herself for what her people need.
Okay.
In Nero's case, she was always what her people needed.
Oh, okay.
The people needed an emperor that could be, that was charismatic. They needed an emperor that could be a symbol for Rome. And as such, she took to that very, like a duck to water, like you say that.
Okay.
She's extremely charismatic. She's kind of narcissistic because, in her view, and kind of, I guess, in other emperors' views, the emperor is the embodiment of Rome. So if the emperor were to die, so would Rome.
And when did, Nero live? 200s?
Something like that? Ancient Rome?
Okay, so, around 200 to 400-ish.
Well, keep in mind, too, Nero's also the emperor that burned Rome to the ground.
Oh.
Which is something I want to understand why it happens, right? Because Nero is summoned before her madness takes hold of her, and that happens. She's like a servant is summoned at the height of their powers unless some other trigger is in place to do that otherwise.
Oh, so she could also be Berserker.
She could be Berserker should she be summoned at that point in her life when she's become, when the madness has taken hold.
Interesting.
Right? So there's that. That would be the case.
And Ryan probably has no idea what
No,
we're
he's
talking
completely
about.
lost. He's been silent this entire time. He has no
Yeah.
idea what's going on.
Yep. I don't know.
But yeah, new Fate series. I'm watching it. I'm enjoying it so far. Episode 2 is out, and I'll probably be watching that later today.
Awesome.
Cool.
I don't have really much. Ryan?
Yeah, I do. Did you guys watch the Cloverfield Paradox?
Yes,
That would be the silent.
yes.
This one.
Can't really say much without really spoiling.
Oh, go ahead. I don't know when I'm gonna watch it, so I don't really care. Spoiler alert already for anyone that doesn't know and wants to not understand.
Yeah, so the movie is basically the Earth is suffering a global energy crisis, and it's like in 2020 something, 2028. They shoot up some kind of space station to shoot a beam at Earth. And
Particle something?
Yeah, particle accelerator.
Yeah.
And they freaking...
The Earth disappears.
Yeah, basically they get sucked out of their
Whoa, hold on. I gotta ask a question now. Hold on. Was it going 88 miles an hour?
No.
No.
Did they have enough gigawatts going?
No, they did not.
No.
Okay, all right. So we're not time traveling. All right, I wanted to make sure.
So while they're on there, there's like a conspiracy theory. Like the guy's watching the news. Conspiracy theorist is on there, and he says that if they do this, it might open up a parallel universe that will open up portals or whatever for monsters to come. So
it's like the beginning of an RPG.
Yeah, basically. So they go through with it. They kind of have their doubts, and then basically they clash with another universe. Like there's another space station. They end up on a different space station, and there's a chick on there that wasn't up with the original crew, but she was with the original crew from the alternate universe. And from them clashing, her crew is basically disappeared. And, well, wait, their space station
crashed.
Is on that universe's Earth that crashed. Meanwhile, there's, their old space station. See, this is what confused me.
Space station from Earth B crashed. Space station from Earth A got transferred into Universe B.
Yes.
Oh, God damn it. Are we doing an Elseworld story from DC now? Is that right?
I kind of liked it when the guy's arm got sucked into the space station and got chopped off and then was moving around by itself, and the guy's like, hey, that's my arm.
Yeah, that part.
Hey, I'm trying to write something.
There is no monster in the entire movie. You see a shadow.
Except for, the final, 10 seconds.
Yes. Literally, the whole crew dies, except for the one chick, of course, the main character.
Of course.
So she's Ripley from Alien.
Yeah. Basically, it was almost like that. Oh, I thought that's what it was going to be, but it wasn't. It ended up being something else. But then, the one engineer survived. Yeah, so they finally get back to their universe somehow.
They find the particle accelerator again.
Yeah. They do it. It works. They fire it again they fired it once to get back to their universe. Fired one more time at their world, so they have energy, and then they start heading toward Earth. And meanwhile, all this is happening. Earth A is just getting destroyed by the fucking Cloverfield monster, and then the last minute is just them going down to Earth, and the chick's husband trying to tell them not to come, but he has no way to contact them. So they're literally headed down, and I'm pretty sure the monster just swallows them as they're heading into the atmosphere.
Yeah, pokes his head through the clouds, gulps them, and just disappears into the clouds again.
Yeah, and then that's pretty much the movie. So they need to, make a movie where the monster's on there, because that shit, I don't know how many miles that is tall, but if that's, above the clouds...
Yeah.
If that was that, even if it jumped to get that high.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's fucking literally just swallow airplanes as they...
I heard Cloverfield 4 codenamed Overlord as of now, is due out in October, and it will deal with World War II.
Oh, it's a pretty quick release for a sequel.
Then
Must have been working on it in tandem.
Then again, I heard this was made Paradox was made in 2016, Overlord was made in 2017. So yeah, they're releasing them kind of in tandem.
Yeah.
Spoilers over!
Oh, also, Deadpool 2 trailer release.
Oh yes!
Yes!
Yes! The one with Cable.
Oh, oh god, it's so good. Deadpool just coming in and just being like, no, what? No metal arm? It's not done? Just cut to him like playing with action figures of him and Cable.
Boy, that was done surprisingly quick.
Like, this is leading more and more to the theory that Deadpool's the one writing these movies.
I would just love that.
Like, the actual credits are just replaced with Deadpool for everything.
I think that's how they did it in Deadpool
They did the intro
1.
credits that way, yeah. But not the outro credits. I mean the entirety of the credits.
But then you wouldn't really know who did it.
Well, that's why you buy the DVD. Special edition, actual credits.
Special feature, the actual credits.
Deadpool hasn't taken over this movie here.
Hilarious.
So, is Josh Brolin Cable?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of looks like John Cena, to be honest.
It's not Cena, I know that much.
Yeah.
I remember
No, it's Josh Brolin now.
Speaking about characters that look like other characters, let's get into today's anime.
Good segue.
Actually, no. Let me bring up one more thing.
Okay.
So I found this series that's apparently been on Comedy Central for a little while now. I found Nathan For You. Have you
heard of it?
Oh, I thought me and my group of friends were terrible people. This guy takes it to a whole new level. Holy shit. He'll go in, right? And it's set up like all of those, we're going to take this really nice, like this old rustic rundown place and just revamp it and make it real great. But, these failing businesses, we're going to make them successful again.
Yeah.
But he goes about it in the most morally and ethically bankrupt ways possible.
Is it scripted?
No.
Oh!
Like, all these people know is that they're signing on for a business help series. They don't know what's going on.
Oh.
And it's a matter of will they or won't they work with Nathan on this. Yeah. And everything's set up so that Nathan's the hero other than his actions. Every other thing, the music, the way he talks, like, he's earnest about everything. He's set up to be the hero, but his actions are awful.
In the end, does he actually help, or?
Technically, if they actually want to go through with it, yes. Like, if they're willing to be morally and ethically bankrupt, yes. It would technically work. Like, one of them is an antique shop, right?
Oh, no.
And there's a couple bars down the street, and his whole plan is just, well, if we can get drunk people to walk in here and they break this stuff, you have a break it, you buy it policy, right? It's as good as a sale. His entire plan is to get drunk people to walk into the shop, which he's set up so that everything's like on an edge. So if they accidentally bump into it, shit will fall over and break.
Oh.
He even narrows the aisles to make it even worse. And you want to know the best part?
What?
He goes through to the point where he wants to make sure this plan is foolproof. So he goes to a bar, picks up a drunk guy, convinces him that that to go to a costume party with him, dresses him up, which he just has this on hand apparently, dresses him up in one of those like inflatable sumo suits. And as they're walking down the street, he points out, hey, there's a free pizza sign here. And in the back at the other end of the store from the entrance, there's a small heat lamp with a pizza there, all the way on the other side of these extremely narrow aisles.
Oh.
You can imagine where this goes.
Oh my god.
He gets the sale, right? And it's like $200 some. And He comes back at the end of this, starts talking to the lady about, look, you got your sale. It's got to be nice. She's like, yeah, it's nice to get a sale, but I don't know how I feel about selling broken merchandise. And he's like, well, a sale's a sale. And you got the whole heroic music as he's like walking out of the store. And he turns back to her. He picks up a plate. He's spinning it in his hands. And then he smashes it over a statue. And then he just turns around with a smile on his face and walks out the store.
Oh.
Oh, no. All right. There's a little bit more because he actually takes a wad of money out of his pocket and just lays it where he smashed the plate and then walks out the door.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck? This guy, holy shit.
Okay.
Like, there are other ones, too, that are worse.
We can get into that during the,
God.
Nathan For You episode, which is never coming.
I would love a Nathan For You episode, because, dear God, that show, holy fuck.
Maybe we can release, like, Brandon's Discuss Nathan For You.
Just, how horrible is this person? Let me just point this one out, right? I'm not going to go deep into it, but I will say this. One of the episodes involves him trying to steal Starbucks' IP through parody law.
Oh yeah, dumb Starbucks.
Yes, dumb Starbucks.
You can watch that. And it worked. Like, he literally just makes so much money. There's like three places, I think, that are still around.
It's
like,
so
people are lining up just to get like the dumb Starbucks like cup and reselling it on eBay.
It's so good too, because part of the episode is him having a actual lawyer sign the release form, and in the fine print it says, if Starbucks should sue us, you are liable.
Oh!
And the lawyer didn't know it.
I don't know about that. Oh my
I'm
god.
like, holy shit, this guy is like the worst. Alright, let's move on.
Let's segue from Starbucks, which sells food, into an anime about food. Segue! Do-do-do!
There's even an episode where they use coffee in this too, so even better.
Yes, because we are talking about Shokugeki no Soma, Season 3.
Specifically Season 3.
Yes. Or Season 3 Part 1?
Yeah, supposedly this is a 24-episode season?
And 12 has come out as of the release of this episode, so
Seems like there's a break in between.
Yeah. So the title card might be a complete lie.
There'll be question marks, alright? We don't know.
Okay.
This may not be the end of Season 3, or it could be Season 4 that's starting. I have no clue.
Yes. And I believe Orion mentioned that he watched it, or was watching it in passing a few episodes back, so that's why we decided to include him with this.
I thought you said we were going to kick him out for good now.
Oh.
I'm kidding, Orion. We wouldn't do that yet.
Yeah, so, you guys gonna explain what this show is?
Well, I mean, we've all watched it, alright? And if you've watched season, 1 through 2, and you're just starting on 3, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I did.
What the hell are you doing?
What the hell are you doing, man?
I was really confused, and, at least for, the first episode.
Why are these people taking off their clothes when they eat?
That was the only thing I really knew about the show before I watched it, so I was ready for that.
Look, alright? The series was brought up and made by a hentai artist, so this is just a thing that happens.
I laughed, though, every time a dude ate something, because it just sounded like he was just orgasming, they'd be like, what idea? And then it'd be like the salmon. Like, oh, like the salmon. And then they're just like, oh! And their clothes just rip. And, where their dick would be, like a salmon just swims by or something. Hard as a rock salmon just.
The constantly creative ways of hiding the genitalia.
Yeah. Like,
You should have seen the one in season 2 where the one guy just like was wearing a schoolgirl uniform at one point. Like this extremely muscled dude is just in a schoolgirl uniform with 3 other little schoolgirls enjoying their time at like an amusement park in one of the fantasies. It's insane.
Like, the foodgasms are always so interesting.
They're so creative in their way of doing things.
Yeah.
It's part of what makes it so interesting to watch and keeps you coming back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because of just how interesting and, like, creative they make it.
Like, okay, this is going to be spicy. How
And I
will
think
the
it's-
foodgasm look?
And I think it's partially because they need to, right?
Yeah.
Because for the most part, there's a good chunk of episodes where it's just people explaining how the food works or how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you need to have, like, well, this is the big action scene where all of their clothes explode off. We need to make it good.
You can usually tell, like, when they show the smell of the food, like the
Yeah.
gold
You're like
thing.
the gold
You're like,
dust
oh,
kind of thing.
they're about to bust,
Oh, man.
and then they eat it. and it's
That's the
getting like-
aphrodisiac. Wait for the main course.
Yeah.
They literally did bust a nut in the last episode, exploding out of the chestnuts.
Yeah. That's. Wait. Oh shit! I must have did see. I fell asleep during the last cook-off.
Okay.
I thought there was another episode.
Yep.
After
12
that one.
episodes so far in season 3, also called The Third Plate, also called Sara.
That's actually one of the things, too, because for whatever reason, I thought there were 13 episodes. So when I got to 12, I'm like, wait, there's not another one? What the hell?
No, as of now, only 12 episodes have been released.
Yeah, I was looking at the list, and I'm like, no, there's only 12. Huh. I could have sworn I saw 13 on this.
One thing that I didn't like was the fact that there were a few OVAs in between seasons 2 and 3 that I didn't watch, so I was just a little bit lost about, okay, who's that Yu-Gi-Oh looking guy?
Yeah, I didn't see them either, but they introduced them well enough in the series,
Yeah.
like the characters, for me to know immediately who they were.
Mhm.
It kind of the same way One Piece does it, where they give you like a small like text blurb about them.
Or a few flashbacks to
Yeah.
the OVA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, let me go ahead and just point out Kuga. All right, we talked about this a little bit before we started, but dear God, this man, Kuga. God damn it! What seed is he again? Is he like 8th, right? 8th seed?
Yes, I think.
Why does he look like 4 from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal? He looks exactly like 4 from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. The only difference is that he has a pointless hairband, and 4 has a scar.
And different
They
hair
have-
colors, you were saying.
No, they have almost exactly the same hair color.
But hair
I
colors
said-
shifted.
Yeah, the hairstyle, right? The yellow part on their hair is just slightly different. The placement of it. Otherwise, it's the same, right? Like 4's, I think, is shifted a little bit to like the right, whereas Kuga's is dead center. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, it took me out of the freaking episode because I had to go and look this up because I'm like, they look exactly the same, even down to their clothing. It's so freaking insane to me. I'm like, how is this now copyright? Like, this is straight up just a copyright problem.
So are you saying hairstyle is a copyright problem?
No, the whole character in general.
Oh, crap. I just remember, and this may not be the exact character I'm thinking of, but Leonardo DiCaprio sued Capcom because I think it may have been Chris Redfield looked too much like him in Code Veronica.
What the hell?
It may be a different character, but there was somebody in Code Veronica that looked supposedly too much like Leonardo DiCaprio, so he sued Capcom.
That's crazy. I never heard of that.
I didn't hear that either.
So when it was released on PlayStation 2, like the character looks different.
I mean, it looks kind of like him, but that's literally like PlayStation 2 graphics, and I forgot how shitty the graphics were on PlayStation too.
Going back to the old style is kind of jarring sometimes. All right, so look.
Yes.
All right, here's one of the other problems aside from the fact that Kuga and 4 look almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I, Brandon, talked about this when we were going into like the Jungle movie where there's awkward 3D animation for some reason.
Oh yes, the Kuga's army.
Yeah, Kuga's army, when we have that scene of them just like flipping rice, and we're getting like almost not quite 360. I'm gonna say like maybe 100-degree spin.
I think the Jungle movie was a lot more jarring.
Oh no, it's worse. It's worse. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But this is bad. But they repeat it
Yeah.
multiple times. We have that same exact scene, which in and of itself wouldn't be a problem if it didn't look as bad as it does compared to the rest of the series.
I didn't think it looked horrible.
Again, it's the repetition that's the problem here.
Okay.
If it was just once and done, or maybe a second time, fine. But this happens what? I literally counted, and it happens what? 5 times. They use it 5 times within 2 episodes.
Oh.
Like, it's done once in episode 3 and 4 times in episode 4.
I didn't think it was that much.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's 5 times.
It was like every time they showed Kuga's restaurant.
Yeah.
Like to kind of segue into the scene or whatever that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
it was just them flipping stuff.
If it wasn't the fact that it was used so much, and you could see the clear difference compared to the rest of the series, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's used 4 times in a single episode is a problem. Like, it's just so much of like, I've seen this. I've freaking seen this already. Come on. Why?
Yeah.
Again, the rest of the series has no problem. It's just this one section of it that I'm like, there's no reason to keep doing this.
Hmm.
Those 2 episodes, I think, were my favorite, though, out of the season.
They weren't bad. I won't complain about them. The season as a whole is really solid. But
Lots
no,
of
this
tasty food.
This honestly isn't the most egregious example that I've seen of repeating animation like this. Dragon Ball Super is the most like the worst at this. Where they repeat the same animation multiple times. Whether it's just like punches being thrown against one character versus another one, or certain dodge scenes that are used multiple times over multiple episodes. And I'm just sitting there like, no, stop. Like there's one point, right, where Hellas, the goddess of destruction in Universe 2, just does this whole thing where she's kind of like throwing her hand out to be like, look, this is beauty, or whatever, right? And it happens 4 separate times in the episode, only one of which is slightly different in that they don't pan back from her.
Is that the Magical Girl universe?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah. Okay. Except Hellas looks more like an Egyptian goddess, like more so than even like Beerus and Chopper.
Okay, I think I saw pictures of her then.
But yeah, like her, like just that one. It's like, and that's done over like 3 episodes, I think, because the fight goes on 3 episodes with her characters in it. Like her people.
Okay.
And I'm just like, dude, stop! All right, just stop. We've seen this animation. Like, the Golden Frieza transformation is used multiple times throughout the season. Don't get me wrong. In this case, it's fine just because the animation is great on that. And because they don't slam it all together into, like, a concentration of a couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they do it so often. And I understand that they're on a weekly basis for an anime. So they need to save time somewhere.
Yeah,
but
and
it
money.
gets so distracting. Oh, man.
So, there's another thing that I noticed. I thought that, wow, I just blanked on the main character's name.
Soma,
yeah. Soma, when they meet, Arena's dad for the first time.
That asshole.
He's walking out of the
of Arena's restaurant.
No, well, of the, oh my god, the house that they're living in.
Oh, the dorm.
Polish
okay.
Star, yeah.
Yeah, Polar Star. So he's walking out of Polar Star. Then Soma follows him out. And then, like, mentions that his dad is,
Joe.
Yeah, that dude. And then, the end of episode 12, he does it again. And I don't know why.
He only did it at the end of episode 12.
He only did it
No,
one time.
No, he did it, at the end of, like, the first episode. Or second episode.
I don't remember him ever outright stating it. There was, like, a flash of, like, familiarity, right?
Yeah.
At one point where Irina's watching him, and the way he turns around and puts on the apron and shit is similar to his father's.
Yeah,
and you
but
just see, like, the flash over top of him for a second.
I could have sworn that he tells.
No.
Not that I'm remembering.
Me neither.
He does it in season 2.
Maybe, at the end of season 2?
Midway through season 2, his father visits. I think.
But, alright, I need to freaking, it's gonna bother me, because I know it definitely happened. You guys can talk.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy, Orion. There is another one, right? And I do, oh man, I love this character. I love Sadatsuka, the creepy little goth girl that shows up in, like, episode 3.
Oh yeah, like the witch.
The witch girl. I love her design, right?
Yeah.
I love the fact that, like, I think, who was it? It was Soma and someone else. I think it's Todokoro that were talking to each other.
Uh-huh.
And she's just silently sitting back there just munching on one of the buns the entire time. She's like, nom, 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 nom.
Where did she come? Where the hell did she come from?
She was introduced in season 2 as a character who had a lot of skill. Like, she was brought up in the autumn elections to be one of the possible winners of that, which would have represented one of the better characters out of
smelly dishes, right?
Yeah, she uses, like, scent and creepy and disgusting looks, but having an underlying flavor of insanity. Like, it's the whole looks are deceiving is kind of like her spiel. Or in this case, looks and smell.
Yeah, like she'll make some squid ink soup with an octopus tentacle and, like, some fermented durian.
Yeah, and everybody's like, this looks disgusting. I would never want to eat this. Oh, God, the smell. But the minute they taste it, it's all of a sudden...
Foodgasm.
But I love the style that she has. I love the look of her. I wish she was in more of the series, even if she is just a new character, because I would love to, like, understand more about her.
And doesn't she have, like, some cute side to her? I thought that's what they said in season 2. She's all dark and foreboding, but when something happens, she'll turn cute.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
It was never shown, at least. If it was mentioned, I just don't remember it.
I could be misremembering.
You could be.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've watched season 2, but I don't remember any scenes involving her changing like that. But yes, I love the fact that she's just in the back of the entire, like, last 5 to 10 minutes of episode 3, just munching on that bun. It's great. Like, not even saying a word, she's just kind of in the background. Just, like, regardless of what scene we're looking at, whether we're looking at Soma and she's just behind him, nom, nom, nom. Or then all of a sudden cutting to Jiroko, nope, there she is too, nom, nom, nom. It's like, how, do you teleport? What is this, instant transmission? Are you just everywhere there's a shadow? What is this? But yes, I'm growing to love her character, and I really wish that she was in more. More like Ikumi is, the meat girl.
Oh, Ikumi.
Ikumi, yes. I kind of wish she was more of a pronounced character like Ikumi is. Because while Ikumi, I wouldn't say is a main character, she's very close.
Second tier.
I would say, yeah, second tier. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, they've kind of introduced her in a way to potentially be that, with the whole comparing disgusting food creations with each other between her and Soma. So maybe she's going to get more spotlight.
And
but we'll see.
It seems that so many girls have the hots for Soma.
Well,
this could be a borderline harem anime.
Well, there's three. There's only really three. And that's Ikumi, potentially Irina, though that's never been fully established. And Megumi.
It seems that, like, at some points during the series, most of the girls do look at Soma, even, like, for maybe, like, a minute.
Like, it's more, like, I don't feel like it's in a way of, like,
Attraction.
I want to bang. Yeah, like, not an attraction, more like a, adoration, I would say.
Okay.
Like, or looking up to, like, what he's able to do. Respect.
Okay.
Potentially. It's only really been Megumi and Ikumi who've been kind of pushed as the possible love interests. And then there's Irina, who's seems to be pushed really hard, even though she doesn't seem to be interested in that.
Are you sure she's not a tsundere?
Unless that's the case. Unless she's full-on tsundere, though, like, she doesn't... Look, the entire introduction we get with her at first is that she doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that Soma actually has decent food. Potentially really good food.
Well, she's a tongue tsundere then.
Like, she refuses to admit that he has good food because he comes from a shit background.
Or does he?
Well, a perceived to be shit background, alright? Because he comes from, like, just your run-of-the-mill diner.
Yeah.
And she's used to serving, like, big pompous executives.
Because of her father.
Her father, and because of her just lineage in general.
Yeah.
So, I found out why I thought that happened in the first episode.
Okay.
Oh, what was that?
I watched the last episode first somehow.
How?
That
I
would
had no
do it?
idea.
How?
That's why the show didn't make sense to me at all. Because I was wondering who Central was. They never mentioned it again as I was watching it until towards the end.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Ryan.
Yeah.
Smooth moves, friend.
This will stick with you for a few episodes now.
I feel like he's gonna do it again just to keep the joke going. Only this time it'll be on purpose.
Yeah.
Or he'll fuck with us and do it that way.
Oh, God. Boy, this episode looks familiar.
We started talking about the last episode, but wasn't that the first episode?
Oh, God.
Yeah. I think my favorite character that wasn't always shown was Momo, the cat girl.
The one who has, like, the stuffed animal?
Yeah, the teddy bear.
Yeah.
Because she literally just acts like a house cat. They're like, yeah, someone was trying to talk to her, and I forget who it was. I think,
Soma, and she just completely ignores him.
Yeah, and she's the one chick's just like, yeah, you have to like give her a few months to like get to know you, and like have a conversation.
Like, it'll take a long time before you get a good conversation with her.
Yeah. And she puts on the bear mitts when she's cooking against one of the seats. It is freaking hilarious.
I'm actually really curious if there's more to that than just the oven mitts. Like, if there's other parts of the teddy bear's body that she'll use.
But then she'll need to sew him back together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you saw, like, the slightly... Like, it wasn't well sewn on to begin with, so it's something she does anyway.
And I didn't even figure it out. Did she lose?
She did not lose. No, she won.
Okay.
What else was there? I like her character. I'm curious to see if there's more to that teddy bear than just that it's oven mitts. Like, whether she stores ingredients or something in there.
That would be
I
interesting.
thought she had, like, special spices or something. Like, as she's, like, tearing off the thing, she, like, mentions some kind of special thing. Either that or she was just talking about
How she made it. I'd be curious if, like, she pulls off the tail and there's just, like, a shaker of something in there.
But
or maybe the tail's, like, got
ass,
a wineskin at the back of
that
it.
good of a way to put it. Maybe out of his mouth would be better.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, what parts can you pull off that there would be something inside of? Like, if you pull off the tail, does it have, like, some kind of, ingredient inside of the tail.
But it's coming out of his ass then.
The tail isn't part of the ass.
I don't think
But
it
it's
The ass
has.
is
enough.
above. The tail is above the ass.
Yeah, but I don't think the doll has a tail.
I thought it was a stuffed cat, so I think it has a tail.
No, it's a stuffed bear.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my point still stands. Like, would she pull off the foot then, and is there something
Okay,
in
Yeah.
that?
the foot is far better.
I'm just listing an example, man. All right. Does the head have something in it that she can just like unscrew the head and just shake something out of it? All right.
Okay.
Or if she unscrews the head, is there like a reservoir of some kind of liquid inside the body?
Just
Like, there's a lot of
Warrior's
ways you can
tendons.
go with this to make it more interesting than just gloves.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not interesting to begin with. I'm just saying you can elaborate more on what the doll does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They didn't really. She wasn't really like a prominent character at all.
No, she's
Like,
not, but she's set up to be because she is, part of the Elite 10.
Yeah.
I do like actually getting back to if we want to jump into the intro for a second. I think I prefer the music, the song from the second season
Yeah.
to this one. But I like the visuals in this one better, I think. Granted, it was really cool in the last one, seeing them riding on giant butcher knives.
Yeah.
But no, I like the visuals where it's like, you see the Toadski 10, right? And then you see our current cast, like, replace them at the very end. And it's like, well, you've kind of given it away what's going to happen. Like, these characters are going to replace the 10.
And
Like,
then
this is going to be the matchups later on.
But what will be the conflict if they become the Elite 10?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because this is set up, and we've seen, like, at the end of the episode, how far Soma himself is away from, like, the first seat in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a builder, right? We're going to see a build-up to this.
So when they become the Elite 10, will that be end of series? Or
It could be. It could be. Or that could be the end of the series, and then we get, like, maybe an epilogue episode showing them, like, years later,
Okay.
which would be nice.
Wouldn't they also like be able to vote Azami out?
That's kind
Yeah.
of what I was thinking when it's like, well, if they become the Elite 10, there goes Azami. He no longer has his sway. Which is why, like, they kicked out Ishiki, right?
Mhm.
No, Ishiki's the 8th seat. So the 7th seat is Kuga. But yeah, they kicked out Ishiki, the guy who's like constantly wearing nothing but an apron, usually.
Yeah.
They kicked him out because he didn't agree with it, and they are basically going to replace him. They haven't shown the replacements yet, but I assume that's going to be in like either the next part or season or whatever it is. So I'm like, okay, now we have even more stakes because now we have to have these characters. These characters have even less now because now all 10 are on the Zami's side. They need to slowly replace them because that's the only way I can see to get rid of Azami at this point is literally just to put them in place. To get our current characters and replace them with the ones that are there, or somehow change their outlook.
Make him try so much food.
Well, I mean, we got the first seat doing that, and that didn't do too good.
Oh, and by the
Inchi.
way,
Or Tsukasa.
yeah, by the way, I just did a quick search and that was season 3 that ended. Season 4 is announced for spring.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
I was
cool.
right.
Yeah,
So,
the first season did have, 24 episodes,
24.
right?
Did it? Wow. Okay. But,
So,
yeah.
crisis averted.
I did like the setup of Etsuya, or Azon, or whichever name you want to
Aizen.
use for him. I liked the whole idea of the rigged Shokugeki, because it is very in line with his character. Like, he is a piece of shit and would totally do that to make sure he wins.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, right, it ended in the exact way I expected, where it's like, all you need to do is get the judges to try your food. Like, if you make it good enough, that the scent will drive them insane. Like, my thought was like, well, Hayama could totally do this, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, he is a master of spices. He would totally be able to swing the judges into trying his dish. Like,
Yeah. And
he is the character that would totally be able to pull that off. Like, not just Soma in this case.
by the way, the animation on the food, like, actually made me hungry. Like, the way they drew it and everything.
It does that, right? Look, Japan has some way of making food look delicious in animated format.
Yes, yes.
I don't know how they make it look so appetizing, but my god, they do.
And if you look around on the internet, you could find fan recreations of
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was,
Oh, yes.
Feast of Fiction. They did the whole, like, first episode of Soma where he made up that, like, bacon-wrapped mashed potatoes.
I'd love
They
to
redid
try
that there.
Kuga's
Which
tofu.
I've been wanting to do at some point because I'm like, that looks so good. I want to try it. But yeah, getting back to like Azon, I like the way he went down, and because he was like, well, the judges are just going to taste my shit, so you know, and not yours. There's no reason for me to be serious.
Yeah.
Like, had his seat been wagered, like they said, he might have actually gone through and taken things seriously. But yeah, speaking of Hayama, the character who I think would have had another really good chance of taking down Azon. That's one of the mysteries about the end of the season. What happened to Hayama and June? Because they never had a Shokugeki to save their research group.
I don't know now.
The last we saw of them, he was watching Soma's match, and there was like a construction thing outside ready to take down the building.
Oh, I thought they lost.
No, they never had one. Like, they had planned to until they saw the rigged match, and after that, everything was canceled. All of them, except for Soma's challenge, which he handed out personally. So I don't know if he ended up going back in and doing it again. He was never shown.
And can we just talk about Alice for a minute? Since I love...
Possibly best girl. Possibly best girl.
Kind of, because I love molecular gastronomy. I find it so interesting.
Give me 2 big reasons why she's the best girl.
I mean, she's, God, what's the word for it? She's an albino.
Uh-huh.
Which you don't see all that often.
Wait, is she actually albino?
She's drawn that way. Like, she has, like, the reddish pink eyes to go with the white skin and hair. But we have her, the whole fact that she's literally been trained to be a molecular gastronomist. So she's pretty damn smart.
Which I find always cool, how she, like, 3D prints chocolate.
I know, I saw them like, wait, does that exist in real life? Because that's amazing.
I think that does, at, like, really, really expensive levels.
Holy, I'm like, I was like blown away. I'm like, wait, no, you can 3D print food now? I thought that was just in The Sims.
Something similar, I turned chocolate milk into a kind of cake the other month. I added some vegetarian gelatin to it, whipped it around, so it was kind of like a very airy Jell-O, but made from chocolate milk, not chocolate water.
Huh.
Like Yoo-Hoo?
Yes, it was nothing like Yoo-Hoo.
Sell it to Yoo-Hoo, you'll make a bundle.
Literally, Yoo-Hoo's only base of customers are people who forget what Yoo-Hoo tastes like. So they buy a bottle, and then they're like, oh yeah, this tastes like ass water. This is why I don't drink it. And then like 5 years later, they're like, I haven't had Yoo-Hoo in a while. And then it just repeats.
I can't lie, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I won't say it tastes like ass water. It tastes better than that, but...
Yeah.
Wasn't there Louis Black joke? No, it was candy corn. And every year, like an Alzheimer's patient.
All the candy corn, they stopped making candy corn in like 1950 something. And they just like...
Recycle it.
They rebag the loose candy corn that's found around.
Candy corn. Corn that tastes like candy. This should be great. Damn it!
Well, there goes our candy corn sponsorship. Good job, guys. And our Yoo-Hoo sponsorship, Orion. Good job.
Rock's candy corn or whatever. Or Bachman or whatever it is. I think that's the company.
Although I did have a s'mores candy corn a year or two ago, and that was far better than regular.
I mean, that's not saying much considering what candy corn tastes like normally.
Yes, it tastes wax. It does not taste like wax. It tastes wax.
It tastes like diabetes.
Wilfred Brimley.
Oh God. All right. What else do we want to bring up here that happened in this? I
love that whenever they ate spicy food, that they just shoot fire out of their mouth.
Oh yes.
I mean, That's kind of a trope, though. That's not something new.
Okay.
Like, that's a trope for most things that when you try spicy food. Like in an anime.
Still, like the whole restaurant, everybody's just breathing fire.
dragons.
I do like the fact that he literally talks about how he loves the fact that his food tortures people.
Yeah.
It's like you got a sadistic side to him there. Which, again, not that different from 4 in Yu-Gi-Oh! 6. Oh, God. The similarities just keep popping up, and it's annoying.
You're really mad about this, aren't you?
It bothers me. It's why I don't like Grand Blue Fantasy, because that one, again, takes character designs from other people.
You know what really bothered me, though? Is that Soma told Azami in the first episode that and then the last episode he did the same thing.
Oh God. Actually, let's get on Azami for a second. This guy is just portrayed as so abhorrently evil. Dear God.
Yeah, he's such a dick.
Like,
you feel bad for Arena when...
Yeah, this is the first time you actually get that feeling of feeling bad for Arena, too. Like, it's a good way to flesh out her backstory.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, she's been through a shit ton with, like, mental and technically, I think, physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now you kind of understand why she's such a bitch sometimes.
Is her abuse how she got the god tongue?
No, she was born with it. Azami was trying to refine it.
Refine
really?
it more?
Yes.
Okay, I thought, like, through him abusing her, that's how she gets that way.
No, she was born with it. But like I said, it wasn't refined. It was still rough around the edges, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to refine it and instill his own mentality into her on top of that.
That everything except 10
anything
Michelin stars is crap.
No. Anything that he doesn't acknowledge is crap.
Oh.
Any food that Azami himself does not say is good is crap. And should be thrown out and is dog food. So,
But
we
what
see a
does
little bit of
Azami
that
cook? We've never seen him cook. We've never heard about him cooking.
Well, the only thing we can assume, is the fact that he cooked whatever food Arena was given in that singular dark room that she was, stored in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I assume that was his cooking and no one else's.
Like, I think maybe the one dish was his, and then, cause I think he made her eat like a tuna steak or something with some other sides. And, she like had to tell the difference.
I think he purposely made two of them and made one different, so that way she would decide which one was the better one.
Yeah. That was pretty interesting though. That kind of, character.
Yeah.
Cause we don't see her cook anything.
It also helps flesh out Alice's, character too.
Yeah.
Because we get that whole backstory between them leaving, and it kind of explains why Alice was a bit prickly with Arena in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't remember if she ever knew until she came back why Arena never wrote back to her. Like she said somebody told her, and I assume it was Son Zamon, the original head director of Totsuki.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was told to her before or after she showed up. But yeah, we get some nice backstory with Alice. We get nice backstory with Arena here, and we get to see, like, what I want to know is what makes Azami the way he is.
Maybe something that Junichiro did.
Well, I mean, he seems to idolize Junichiro. That's the thing.
But now he hates Junichiro because he found out Soma is his son.
He doesn't hate him.
Well, I thought he hates him because he does, like,
Unique.
diner kind of food instead of...
No, he doesn't... Azami doesn't hate Soma, nor does he hate Junichiro. In fact, like, he has a whole line of the only food he's ever respected was the stuff made by Junichiro, right?
Okay.
And on top of that, he says that his whole principle of doing what he's doing is to fix whatever the problem was that turned Junichiro from a huge 5-star chef into like a diner, into like a guy that does diner food, or like in the case of, I think, Azami, I don't think he even knew what happened to Jurichiro. I think he just realized that he disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what caused you to disappear?
Yeah, like
Was
whatever
it a
caused
woman?
whatever quote unquote ruined Joichiro.
It was a woman, wasn't it?
Well, we've
That
never seen
bitch
Soma's
took you
mom.
away from me!
We've never seen Soma's mom. Who knows? Maybe Azami had assassin on hand.
Yeah, they didn't. I wasn't sure if Jurichiro still had a restaurant.
He has, the diner that he leaves Soma in charge of. But from what I understand, he's been bouncing around cooking for friends since the start of the series.
I think he's also traveling the world.
That too. Like, he might be looking at making a comeback.
Maybe he will show up next season.
He showed up last season. We got to see the fact that he was there at the dormitory. So yeah, he might show up this coming season too. And
yeah, with the zombie there.
Yeah, because we did get the whole reaction of him realizing that Azami had taken over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if somehow they have like them have a cook-off, and if Jurichiro wins, then Azami has to resign or something?
Maybe.
That could be the case, but I feel like you're more likely to get in with the Elite 10, and that's kind of what's been foreshadowed with the intro.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, though.
It would be interesting, and I don't doubt that it might happen. It's just a matter of when. Like, for all we know, even if Soma and the others do become Elite 10 members, there might have been rules put in place so that they cannot vote out the director anymore.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, they would have to come down to either a Shokugeki to kick him out, or a Shokugeki to change that rule.
And I've been reading a little bit on the Wikipedia about the manga because I really want to get into this more, aka the manga. And I
haven't read it myself yet.
And I found out that there is going to be the Elite 10, which is, spoiler, knocked down to 8. And then there's going to be like 8 rebels against Central.
Well, they did kick out what? They kicked out Kuga, and they kicked out Ishiki by the end of the series. I forget if they kicked out a third or not.
Okay.
So we've kind of like got that set up by the end of this season.
Mm-hmm. So there's going to be 8 rebels led by Soma against the Elite 8. And I don't really know what's happening through that, but I know it's like part of the school exam, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, I haven't read, so I have no idea what's going on as far as like
make
the manga.
An Elite Four joke, but
well, I mean, they also have the people that are under them too, like the one that we saw. I'm blanking on the guy that's always with Alice. It's like Rio. You get to see Rio go against one of them.
Oh, I just love Rio as a character. So deadpan. So monotone. But when he cooks, he's insane!
Yeah, literally, like, right? It's literally just, he puts the headband on and all of a sudden, bam! He has just shifted character.
No, I think in season 2, his headband falls off and he instantly goes back to normal.
Yeah, right? That's the trigger for him to change, is just, I'm gonna put on the headband.
No, and I think it just casually fell off, and it's like, your headband fell off. Oh. So it did.
I know, right? His demon fire's in the headband. What happens if he gets rid of the headband?
It would be even better if his headband would say ninja on it.
No, never. Stop.
But come on, it's been months since we've seen one of those.
No. I think that's a blessing in disguise, damn it.
What the hell? I really like the who the hell
First seat?
Rio goes against I forget how to say his name.
I don't remember his name either. But yeah, him. Go on.
Rentaros.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When he thinks he wins and he's explaining how he steam cooked it with the oil.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if I want to know if like most of the things they use in the show are real cooking techniques.
I would say yes.
They are.
Because that's really interesting. I never even like how he has the oil so it
doesn't touch the pan.
Yeah.
Like
and temperature control cooking. That's kind of like sous vide cooking, where you not boil water, but you have it just under boiling, and you cook food that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just put the food in like a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
And put it in you put the water, normally how I see it done is, with the freaking cooler, and then you put the water in, and then whatever you're cooking.
Hey Ryan, this isn't Dragon Ball Z.
God damn it. Well then, if you don't finish your food, you can put it in your freezer.
What about a cooler?
And then you can call somebody on your cell.
Yeah.
Maybe the slug will pick up.
Don't forget to eat a carrot. They're good for health. Eye health.
And maybe listen to some music with a piccolo in it. God damn it. It's terrible.
Hey, it's all his fault.
It is. It's true. Toriyama, stop naming your things after food.
And now the 3 listeners went to 0.
This is true. We're down to 0. It's just us 3 now. Oh, man. I think there's only one real thing left to talk about, then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be, Tsukasa, the first seat.
Oh, I just loved him as a character, how he's so, confident about food. Everything else, nothing. No confidence.
Nothing whatsoever. I find it interesting with the whole, tie being tossed over his shoulder. That's an interesting design for me, because I've never seen that done before.
Oh, yeah. Every scene he's in, it's that. With the tie over his shoulder.
Yeah, I know. The only one time it wasn't was when he was fully dressed in the was it the uniform? No, when he was actually cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When he's actually cooking, either the tie's not there or he's in a chef outfit.
Yeah, I think he usually has the chef jacket when he's cooking.
Yeah, when he came in at the one episode to teach the students, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think he had the tie on, right?
No.
But then it's everyone but Soma left, and he gets up from behind a freaking behind an oven or something, and he gets up and the tie's just suddenly back on. I'm like, when did you put that on?
Magically appearing tie.
Does it just pop back on when he's not cooking? Is that just it?
Maybe it's a flip on.
Because he says he passed out.
Oh man.
But yeah, I like the back and forth between the characters. It's kind of like Rio in that way, in that when he's cooking, he's in his own little world and completely focused. But outside of that, he is just completely missing and stressed out as hell.
Incredibly paranoid.
And that too. Especially because Rindo is constantly on his ass about everything.
I thought Rindo was kind of cute.
She's interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious what she does, because all we've seen her do is eat, really.
Yeah. Oh, I love
the
capable festival. But it should, goes to her. Just a montage of her eating.
Eating through 92 stands, I think they said at the end.
I was 150 or something.
Was it 150?
It was some crazy amount.
It was, it was nuts. I'm like, where did you get all the money for this?
Yeah. And they're
Are you rich?
Where's your booth at? She's like, you can enjoy it either way.
And Cougar tearing her out. What are you eating his food? It's kind of good.
Yeah.
She's such a mouthy character, and it's great. But I want to see what makes her the second seed. What's put her in that place.
Yeah, I don't think
she's never cooked. Not in the season.
Well,
I don't know if it was in the OVAs. It might have been, but I'm very curious to see what they do with her. Because she's also got a cat eye, which is interesting.
And that cute little thing.
Well, I think that's kind of going along with the cat theme, which is strange because of Momo having that too.
Yeah.
They both got a bit of a cat theme going on.
Maybe they're sisters.
Maybe.
but I don't know I didn't catch their like last name. So
they're not the same. Momo's last name is, God, I'm gonna butcher this, Akane Gakubo, and Rindo's is Kobayashi.
Oh, Kobayashi.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a dragon name somewhere.
Probably is a professional eater. That makes sense why she just eats all the time.
And then again, Kobayashi is like the Jones or Smith of Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm curious about what she's capable of, because all we see her do is eat this entire time.
Yeah.
And yell at people. Eat and yell at people. That's all she does.
It says on the wiki, since the manga is about an arc or two ahead, exotic ingredients.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Still, I want to see what she does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we haven't is it just exotic ingredients in general? Like, what is her specific specialty? Like, that's not something we've really ever seen with any of them at all. The only one that's kind of been described is Kuba and Tsukasa.
Cooking style, exotic ingredients, cooking skills, knife specialist, miscellaneous ecology.
I mean, that's not really enough. Like, we know Kuga's got not French. He's got Chinese cuisine on his side, right? Whereas Aishi, we don't really get much other than that he knows ingredients to a T.
Yeah.
But I would love to know, like, because so far, until we got introduced to these Elite 10, we've seen whoever we've been up against having a specialty that they're, good at.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen that so far.
Like what region of the world?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I understand, like, the idea, and I guess this would make sense, especially for those at the top, is that you need to broaden yourself into all forms, rather than just specify one single place that you're really good at. Because,
curry guy, I forget, but he was spice, so...
It's Hayama.
Yeah, Asama, but spice was his forte, so... He could make...
Like, where you have the god tongue, he's got the god nose.
Yeah.
But, I'm really... I want to see what some of these other characters in the top 10 are capable of. Like, even Ishiki, and we've known him since the beginning. We don't know what he specializes in.
No.
Like, even looking on the wiki, there's not really much on him as far as, like, what defines him as a chef.
And I kind of like it how the Italian brothers, I forget their last name.
Aldini.
They're becoming more of Soma's friends than straight up rival.
Well, I mean, Izumi is. I don't know about the other one. Because he's just constantly, like, look, it's a tsundere friendship, okay? That's what they have going on.
And Ryan, if you didn't watch season 2, but they're actually twins.
Really?
Probably fraternal twins, but yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
The heavier one loses so much weight every summer.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he's literally like Choji from Naruto, where he just like drops the weight.
And then when it's time for school, he gains it back or something.
Pretty much. Like there was the point, I believe, like he was training for the autumn elections, and during that time he lost all of the weight, and he was skinny as shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go back and watch the first 2 seasons.
It's a good series.
Be sure to watch them in order.
Yeah. Don't watch season 2 first.
I don't know how that happened, to be honest. Like, it made no sense. I'm like, I mean, I guess it could still make sense as... Like,
Didn't you see the opening title card that says 12?
Yeah, but I hit season 3, right? Because I didn't watch the series before. And it started me at 12, and I totally thought it was episode 1.
Oh, this is episode 12 overall!
Oh, god damn it.
And also, if anybody, if you don't want to subscribe to Crunchyroll or whatever, I went through VRV,
Oh.
which gets you like a bunch of things for the same
I think
purpose.
Crunchyroll is a part of the Verve family.
It is.
Yeah. And
It's
it gives
one way
you
or another.
premium for that. Plus, like, whatever else, what other channels, like Geek and Sundry.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's see. I'm just gonna quick look this up because it's better. I think Crunchyroll is only like $7 a month, but you get all of this other stuff.
This
Yeah,
episode is sponsored by Verve.
Mr. T.
I wish.
Cartoon Hangover, Funimation, Mondo, Nerdist.
What else was
Those are ones
there?
I know.
Yeah, well, let's talk about one last thing before we finish this up. Like,
Even
what
though
are
this
the
episode is running long to begin with.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
Because we've got 3 people
shit.
actually discussing a show rather than just pitching. So let's just ask, like, what are the leftover questions at the end of the series, right? The season. One of them is what happened to Hayama and Jun? We don't know what happened to them because we don't see them in a Shokugeki at the end. And they've kind of were left off in like the last 2 episodes, I want to say. They were kind of just missing.
Mm-hmm.
What are the reasons that the Elite 10 want Azami's future? Right? They want Azami to be the head. Why do they want that?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of got that a little bit. I think it was from Momo, I want to say. I don't remember. One of them said, like, they wanted to keep fighting better opponents. So, for the sake of, like, challenges, I can understand, like, maybe 1 or 2. But I want to know where the others stand on this setup.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, why are they throwing in with Azami? I can definitely see why Azon would do it. Because, I mean, it's money, and that's the only thing he wants.
Yeah.
All he wants his money. And with Azon's way of doing things, that's going to be the best way to get money, even more than what he's already got.
I always thought it was Aizen, like the villain from Bleach.
It's pronounced Azon in the anime.
I thought they kept pronouncing it Aizen. I may have been.
I heard Azon.
Okay, then Azon it is.
Yeah. I just want to know when Bobby Flay shows up.
They haven't visited Flavor Town yet.
That's Guy Fieri.
Same thing. I don't care.
Fieri.
Fieri.
I don't care. All right? My point stands.
So, would Soma's Diner close down because that was run by, at one point run by Junichiro, which was his idol? So would that restaurant be spared?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Azami knows that that's run by Joichiro. Because nobody other than potentially Sonzemon knows what happened to him.
Okay.
Because Sonzemon talked to him and convinced him to send Soma into Totsuki to begin with. So either it was just a random passing on the street or something where they talked to each other, or he's the only one that actually knew what happened to him.
And can we talk about, like, the grandfather just a little bit? How he's, like, so muscly, physically fit, running marathons?
This man might give Master Asia a run for his money.
Okay.
I love the fact that he's, like, so stupidly fit. The best part is I know a person that's like this. I don't think he's as old as Sonzemon's portrayed in this. Because I think Sonzemon's, like, in his 80s, I want to say.
Okay.
But the guy I know is getting close to that.
Okay.
If not there. Like, early 80s. And he's fit as shit. And I'm just like, how? You're, like, 80-something. How are you able to do this?
Good genes, maybe?
Maybe?
Yeah.
You sure as hell didn't pass them on to his kids, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, like, the fitness genes, anyway.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were talking about actual genes.
Damn it, Ryan.
Those hand-me-downs sure are nice.
Yes, they are.
Those Wranglers?
No, they're Lees.
Real comfortable jeans. This episode brought to you by Wrangler.
Regular, not boot cut.
God damn it. Look, all right, we joke about this. I want to be sponsored by someone. Give us money. We need to eat.
That would be helpful.
Look, you two work at a grocery store, all right? You have food left for you immediately. I don't get that.
And I thought Soma, added a sweatshirt to his attire this season.
I mean, if you're counting when he was running with the old man.
No, he seemed to wear that sweatshirt a lot more this season.
I don't recall. He was wearing the regular long sleeve sweatshirt or not sweatshirt, but the regular. Oh no! You're talking the gray one that he wore before?
Yeah, with the text, with the blocky text on.
Isn't it technically winter though at this point? Because the autumn elections were last season.
Oh, okay.
So would it be winter now?
Maybe.
Or early spring, in which case it would make sense a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now.
So yeah, if our times are right, then yeah, this would be about right.
Okay.
Early spring, or if we are in winter, which I don't think we are because the background doesn't look that way.
But then again, it's Japan.
They were having the Moon Festival, and that would have been around January, I think.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Or it would have been sometime in the middle of autumn.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. It's somewhere in there when things are getting colder.
Okay, so obviously he must wear a sweatshirt.
So yeah, it would make sense for him to wear something thicker.
Now.
Yeah, on a colder time of year.
Mm-hmm. But Ikumi is still running around in bikini tops.
Well, I mean, come on, that's her identity. She can't not do that. Plus, she's usually doing that inside, from what I'm seeing.
Yes.
Plus, we can't ignore the American bikini, which I don't understand why she's using because I don't think she's American.
Maybe half. I don't know.
Potentially, she does have the tan skin, blonde hair going on, but that's kind of a style I think in Japan. I forget what it's called.
Me too.
But it is a style that some characters wear, where it's thick makeup, tan skin, and really bright colored hair.
Mm-hmm. So, Ryan, you will definitely watch season 4 coming this spring.
Yeah, I will.
And pick up the first 2 seasons, probably in a very horrible order.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the last episode of season 2 and then just watch it from there.
Oh, and here I thought he was just gonna watch episode 5, then jump back to 1, then go forward to 11, and just watch it in the most ass backwards order possible.
All right. That's it for us. And come back next week for more anime fun and random discussions.
Leave your questions about the season down below. Who was your favorite character that was introduced from any of the seasons, really? Because I don't think we're going to go back to take care of 1 and 2.
Yes.
No.
And do you think Bobby Flay will show up?
And what are your thoughts on molecular gastronomy?
Oh. And do you think they'll visit Flavortown, USA? It'll be a field trip.
So, see you later.
Bye.
Yeah.